Thank you for accepting our invitation. I'm interested, you have been to Yerevan for several days. What was your opinion about Armenians before and after?
Okay. Almost it's not first. For me, it's first time in Armenia, but I had many Armenian friends before. So before coming to here, also I didn't expect something else. You know, I already had good relations with Armenian friends. I stayed 1 year in Berlin, and one of the most close friends of mine was an Armenian Arhek, and when we were a child, we had more stereotypes, but when we grow up and when we just met, have some more chances to talk, when we touch each other, I already broke that stereotypes.
For example, which stereotypes?
Before, you know, when we grow up, we didn't know that why we don't like each other, but the thing was, we don't like each other. When you were a child, when you were in primary school, secondary school, this is the kind of politics of the governments, how they grow up us. So we call it kind of governmental history. It's not the real history, it's governmental history. So this is how you grow up. I'm sure it's quite similar in Armenia also.
Yes, thank you.
I had many friends as well in my high school, Western Armenian friends. So the only difference, I guess, that I felt when I came here, I knew how much things in common we had, but the closeness and the warmth that common history and heritage brings to us when we interact person to person is something that really made me happy during my trip as well.
Yes, it's very important.
May I add one thing also? Today in the university, during the seminar, we were in Slovenic University, and during the seminar, what I heard from the students, Armenian students, was very nice, that they were very willing to touch each other, know each other better, to travel between two states, two countries, and to know more about each other, to get to know each other better. They were really open-minded. I really liked it.
Okay. Ecological problems are global challenges. What do you think? Is it possible people from different nations unite around this problem, and would it affect the political decision?
I would like to say yes to all of them, a big yes. It's a global problem. It affects all of us commonly. When we went to in one of the organizations we visited during this study visit, they have said that nature is borderless, which is very true. There are no borders when it comes to migrations of the animals. When it comes to floras, we have similar faunas and floras, and we're all affected as human beings as well in this process equally. Of course, you know, there are more vulnerable groups as well, but there are vulnerable groups in each country. So I think when we come together and unite and actually go above the state history and the state politics that we talk about and unite in a common cause like the environment, we will be able to, one, shock the politicians that this is possible, and we unite and we share all these ideals and wills for the future, and secondly, be able to affect the governments. In the United Nations process of the Kyoto Protocol, a lot has been accepted and done by the states due to the activism worldwide, both in their own countries and also the pressures and activism that is done globally. So I think there's a very big potential there.
So I also would like to add, what you said is the aim of our project also, to get united around the environmental issues between two countries. So that's why we are here, to create a platform between Armenian and Turkish environmental organizations. This is the way how we wanted to get united also. So what I see and what we were talking with our friends yesterday was I really have this hope. It's working. We already know many organizations, Armenian organizations now here, and next month the Armenian participants will be, our colleagues will be in Istanbul to visit different organizations in Turkey. So it's already started. I think this is the way. So what we are doing now with 21st Century Leaders Organization here in Yerevan is this, and it's working. Because, as you said, it's a global problem, okay, but we have regional impacts that we have to get united around these issues, and we should have regional strategies for it. So the climate change, it's same for all of us. We were speaking in the university today again, the impact of the climate change in our regions, and it's quite same. We have similar problems, and we have to work together, and we have to do something together because it's regional. It's not really local.
Yes. Eco-activists in Armenia were following closely the development in Gezi Park in Turkey, yes. And there are many these kind of problems in Armenia too. Activists struggle to save green places, parks and something like that. Do you think, is it possibly any cooperation between Armenia and Turkey regarding this? What do you think?
Gezi has been a very important movement in Turkey as well. It was a breaking point of having young people voice their ideas and the problems they live with, the environment there and the cities they live in. I think I've heard something similar actually happened here for another park in Yerevan as well. Being young and wanting to live in a good city with lots of green places, with the environment conserved, is a common denominator of all the young people throughout the world, I think. So it's I would really love to see such a cooperation for both our rights to the city and urban areas and green areas in our cities. And also to the whole environment issue in general.
As an activist in Gezi Park protests, I was very involved to the protests in Turkey and taking part in the demonstrations in forums. I can easily say that we can easily cooperate on similar issues. Even when the Gezi Park protest started, we get contact with many friends from different countries, sharing our experience, like sending their hope to us. It was really important. It was really a good point that we could understand each other. So this eco-activism is one of the way that to save also, to save the world, also to save our democratic rights also. So I think the ones who are now fighting for their rights, like eco-activists also, not only eco-activists, all the activists fighting for their rights now in this system, because in a way the world is getting worse day by day. They can easily get contact, and we can push more to the government to be more eco-friendly government, eco-friendly municipalities, to have more eco-friendly attitude to manage the country. And this is, we have the same thoughts, we have same so similar ideas, and we can easily get contact with all the countries. Like almost it started from the Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street movement from US till Turkey, then Ukraine, then Hong Kong. So I find them, all of them are connected in a way.
Ecology is connected with politics. Is the political leaders would change? Would it affect ecology? What do you think? If there would be a government that's more understanding of the ecological problems, yes, things would be easily changing. But the problem is, high politics thinks itself above our daily struggles, and unfortunately, it's not. It's actually what
does make our daily struggles as hard as it is right now. It is possible, I always think, that to actually train politicians to be more eco-friendly, to be more sensitive to human rights, to be more sensitive to women's rights, children's rights, to have a rights-based approach to the whole governing thing. However, of course, when you say high politics, other economic struggles come into play, international politics come into play, political fights for over votes, political concerns over the next elections come into play. However, I think that's where civil society comes in and kind of gives a check and balance to the politicians, that you have to take a rights-based approach and you have to do this for the environment. You shouldn't be so short-sighted to see after the next election only. You should be able to envision a future where everyone can live peacefully and in harmony with the environment and the nature. So I think it is possible. It's the role of the civil society. I don't mean organizations, but I mean people, even one by one, or coming together after organizing.
I think, like everything is very related with politics, ecology is one of the most powerful one almost. But the problem is the associations, the organizations are not enough united, or they don't have enough power to affect politics in governmental level. So this is one of the problem what I see. That's why now we almost just established a new network in Turkey, climate change network of environmental organizations, to get united more and to affect more to politics. What we see is like what happened in US or what happened in European Union, till to a point that which is unacceptable for the ecology, they don't do anything. Like the professor yesterday said in the university, Professor Allen said, in 1989 till 1981 in Europe it was like impossible to even the bread because of the industrial investments. Then they started to change the stuff. This is one of the way how the governmental bodies work, how the politics work. So we have to push more to make them to take action before that point.
And I'm interested, April 24 coming soon. What do you think about Turkish and Armenian relations and Armenian genocide? And what do you think your Turkish society, think about in this? Would you like to start?
Yeah. So this genocide topic is going very political in both of the countries. This is what I see. It's not my topic that I am not really expert on it. This is what I see is the governments have this political level of discussions, conflicts against sending invitations to each other, and some political way of communicating again. But what I'm thinking is for me the most important thing is the communication of the societies. So we have to get together and to speak and to understand each other. This is what we need. So the politicians, whatever they say, I don't believe anymore. From both sides, the governmental bodies, whatever they do, I don't care them anymore. The thing is, we have to get united. We have to get together and to understand each other, to speak and to understand each other. So I hope we will have more chance to get together and to speak on these topics, not only about ecology, not only about some other stuff, also politics, also economical stuff, also all the conflicts and all the history that we have in common.
Of course, thank you.
I know genocide is, as Musa said, is a political issue, a very diversified one in terms of the attitudes of the states. But at the same time, I know it's a very personal thing. I know a lot of people whose history is actually affected very dearly, very sadly, by what has gone on. And I think every person in Turkey would actually feel it to their bones, feel this grief and sadness to their bones, if they listen to the personal stories rather than the state stories. I think it's a very sad event, and I think it should be acknowledged as a sad event. But unfortunately, what we feel and say doesn't get reflected in state authorities anyways. But I think, as I've said, the Turkish people would really feel this sadness because we're coming from a similar culture. We've shared so many songs, stories, poems together, that we have similar feelings at the end. It's just a matter of being able to come to face and tell each other your story. Yes. And at that point, it will become something personal and it will be easier to be resolved. But as Musa said, then we will be able to talk about everything: ecology, politics, economics, and cooperate and actually be more stronger, I think, as both societies.
I would like to add, in a way and in a time as soon as possible, we have to face with our history. So I know many people in Turkey believe that there is genocide. Many people, they say no. People have different thoughts. In a way, we have to get together, meet and face with our history, and we have to do whatever needs to be done.
And last questions, how to normalize the relations, Turkey and Armenian relations, and what do you think, what is a solution in genocide issue?
For me, one of the way of the normalization, we have to touch more. The countries have to cooperate more in all levels, like the civil society organizations, individuals. We should have more tourism, whatever, youth exchange, students, common ecology programs, whatever. In a way, we have to get together and we have to get a better contact. We have to share more to know and to understand each other. It's like if we don't touch each other for years, if we don't know each other better, we will all keep all our stereotypes in our minds, and there is no way to break them. So one of the way is to get contact more, and for this also one of the ways to open the gate. So this is again kind of political conflict or whatever problem goes on, but in a way the border has to, the gate needs to be open from, is my opinion. To come to here, we get a long way over Georgia. To here takes hours. Even it's just 2 hours, 1 hour to the border from Yerevan. Yeah. So it could be easier to also visit each other, to share more, to cooperate better. This is one of the way, and it should be in all levels. Like the journalist has to get together, have like common meetings, the students, the academicians, the people who are working in civil society organizations, the governmental organizations, diplomats, whatever, everyone. For the genocide, I think it will take some more time, but in a way, the society needs to speak about it. Like we said in the ecology problem, we have to get united and speak on it, and in a way then we can push government to do something more. So we have to speak about it, we have to understand each other, then we can find the best way to how to move together.
I'm sorry, your society won't speak about this problem?
Of course. Yes. Of course we want, like everybody wants. This is what we need to do, that share what we know. You should share what you know. Then we have to try to do the best way to finish this conflict, to face our histories, and we have to do what needs to be done as soon as possible, and to continue in a better cooperation without stereotypes. As Shehnaz mentioned before, we have a lot of common thing that we bring from our heritage, from we have a lot of common words, dances, foods. We are very happy here, like we are at home, really, like we are at home. Even we have different origins. I'm Kurdish. I come from Kurdish origin. Shehnaz comes from Turkish, maybe somewhere else. Like
so mixed.
So mixed. So we have Turkish friends also from Turkish origin in our team. We are almost like a mixed of everything in this region. So it could be very nice that if it will be better in future.
I truly do think that the people of Turkey would want to talk about this issue. Yes, there's stereotypes involved, and I think the solution to overcoming this block that we have in between our relations is actually what we started to do. We are cooperating with Forum for 21st Century Leaders since 2013 on different occasions. Environmental issues is one aim of our project. Involving young people in this process is another part of our project. But the third aim of our project is the normalization of Armenian-Turkish relations. And I think the biggest contribution the projects we do the projects we do as Earth Association and Forum 21st Century Leaders is that the people we involve are young people. So hopefully at one point they will get the chance to become decision makers for Turkey, for Armenia, on both environmental issues and maybe not. But once they become decision makers, they will be people, unlike who we have as decision makers now, they will be people who have Armenian friends or who have Turkish friends and who listen to their stories and their sadnesses and happinesses. So they will be willing to make this normalization process go even further than it is right now. So I believe all of these projects were, for example, funded by the European Partnership Foundation and the Hrant Dink Foundation, and all the projects they're doing, all the exchanges, grants they're giving, are really small but important steps to move this normalization process forward. Yes, genocide is a big word, I would like to say, that the states use to their own political will, but I think we can go as young people beyond that once we're in a decision-making position.
Yes, that's all. Thanks. Come to us again. Thank you very much.
Come to Turkey.
Yeah.